Yeah, this is what we were discussing in the last session, criteria for community relations activities. We are now aware that as part of the public relations functions, organizations undertake various community relations activities. But how do they go about identifying uh, the activities to be undertaken as part of community relations? Are there any criteria to choose, to select, to shortlist appropriate or suitable activities so as to expand their community relations programs? Yes, there are several criteria which have been identified by the management researchers and public relations professionals based on their extensive study and experience. Some eight have been listed here. We have been discussing these criteria. We noted that community relations should essentially create something that is needed. It had not existed before in the community, right? So that the USCR program would be able to provide something which was badly needed by the community people. And secondly, if there is a specific community related problem, it might not be related to their livelihood, their employment, their sustenance, okay, which is more in the nature of their inter religious, caste, or political activities. Uh, your CR program should not tread into that dangerous uh, domain or area. You should keep yourself away from such issues, which are essentially community problems, which the organization has got nothing to do with. So you need not worry about resolving those community problems. So your CR programs are not meant for such things. And another criterion for community relations is that by community relations activities, you need to develop some kind of self-determination from the community people. You should inculcate a practice of self-reliance among the people. They should be made to know that community relations cannot activities are not charities. They cannot go indefinitely. Sooner than later, they are going to be wound up, right? So they have an expiry date. It might be for 1 year, or it might be for one particular instance. You cannot, you should ensure that community will not totally dependent on the organization for all its requirements. Should the community should itself get equipped sufficiently, should become self-reliant. We should determine what is required and how to go about mobilizing the resources, how to go about acquiring those needs or requirements. Organization is only a stopgap arrangement, an interim arrangement. It cannot be a permanent solution for the community's entire requirements of needs or all types to come in the future. No, that is not the intent of CR activities. So that is very important. The community relations people should try to develop a means of self-defense so that community itself will determine what is required, how to acquire those things, how to meet those requirements. And another criteria for community relations activities is broadening the use of something that exists to include havens. There might be certain facilities already available in the community, but these facilities might not be covering all those underprivileged sections of the community. It might have been relegated or confined to only those who are affluent, who can afford, who are very forceful, who have that kind of bargaining capacity. There might be a large section in the community who, in spite of having those facilities, might not be in a position to make use of those facilities. This is an area where community relations can play a very important role. So, for example, primary education. In that community, there might be a school where, because of the high fees and other requirements, children from the lower economic status, farmers, laborers, families might not be in a position to go to these schools. Now, as part of your CR, you can provide, say, school fees, you can provide stationery, uniform, midday meals, etc., etc. So that children from these underprivileged sections also will be able to make use of the education facility available in the community. This is how we can broad base. We can broad the use of something. Something here is that primary education facility that is already existing, but it was not included. These have not these underprivileged sections. Now, by making your entry, by launching your CR program, you are facilitating the use of this education facility by even by the children or the members of these underprivileged sections. So you have to choose your activities in such a way that you might not be creating something new for the community. There might be facilities already existing in the community. It might not have been accessible to all the members, especially the have-nots. Yeah, you can come out with an activity which makes it possible for even these underprivileged sections to make use of this. Their children can also go to school. They can also read and write. They will also be having uniforms. They will also be having writing and reading stationaries. They will also be having midday meals, etc. You provide those things as part of your CR relation so that the use of this education facility is going to be broad-based, going to be widely used by all the sections, especially the have-nots of the community. Then sharing equipment, facilities, and professional expertise. The organizations actually uh, are having a lot of these equipments. They might be having a facility for training, they might be having a community hall, they might be having an indoor stadium. They might not be regularly used by all the employees always. You open these facilities for the members of the public to use. For example, we have a stadium. This is not being used by the students 365 days, especially during the vacations and examination time. These are not being used. Why don't we open up these stadiums or indoor facilities, etc., etc., to the children of the local community? Our labs are not being used, say, during the holidays. Why don't we use it for training the households in the community in using computers, in using internet, in using email, etc., or to train the children in using the computer? So we have our workshops which are not being used, say, in the evening or on holidays or on Sundays. Why don't we make this facility available to the local artisans, local mechanics, local ITA or diploma holders to get trained in these facilities? Or you have people who are good in different aspects, whether it is in science, in mathematics, or in English, or in different technical areas. We are not going to take classes during the holidays. So why don't we invite the people from the local community and educate them in their own language as to how to handle these things? For example, as simple as repairing the electrical defects in the house. Our electrical department is arranging a lot of such programs. They invite the local people, they train them how to repair themselves, say a fan or a electric light or a tube light or something, all day-to-day electrical gadgets being used in the house. Our ENC department trains people as to how to repair their mobiles, right? So why don't we share the equipment, facilities, and functional expertise the organization has got with the members of the country? This could also be a part of the communication plan. So one of the criteria for communication activities could be to share the organization facilities, equipments, laboratories, workshops, and manpower or technical manpower to train, to educate, to enlighten the local community in their respective trades or skills. Reconstituting, repairing, and dressing up. There might be several facilities in the communities. They might not be in a very dilapidated conditions. They might require a lot of repairs, renovation. For example, a community hall, a indoor stadium, a gym, right? They might be in a very bad shape, or a water tank, or a school building, or a park. They might be in a very bad shape. They might not have been maintained properly. The community might not be having the money to maintain them properly. Why don't you enter? Why, as part of your CR relations, why don't you undertake the reconstruction, repair, maintenance, housekeeping of these public civic communities in the community, so that these amenities would be available for the entire community to make use of. Then tutoring, counseling, and training. Many organizations undertake this, not only in their own areas, but also in other areas. For example, training the unemployed, training the housewives who have got their time, training the senior citizens in taking various activities. The organizations can arrange these training facilities. They can also organize counseling for those, especially those vulnerable sections of the society, like adolescent children, women, senior citizens, etc. And activating the rest. Community relations should end up finally activating people. Community might be dormant, community might be having all the things, but it might be in a very complacent lethargic condition. You should try to activate this. You should breathe in a new idea, right? New ways of doing the things, new ways of looking at the things, right? You should make the community feel that it can really achieve something, right, with the support of the organization. That kind of mental transformation, you can say, the behavioral transformation, you can say, should be brought about by CR activities. So that could also be a criteria for choosing appropriate activities. So having these things in mind, right? The community relations activities should be selected, identified, designed, and implemented in the organization, so that they would become very appropriate, they would be received well, they would be very effective in impacting the community to a large extent, to make a difference to the lives of the people in the community, thanks to the organizations, CR intervention. So, as CR professionals, as CR officers, you need to have something on these events. This is not, it's only an indicative list, something on this, so that you are going to make a difference to the community by your activity. It's not just a photographic or a news channel photo opportunity. You should really mean it to make a bring about a change in the community for good, for its benefit. So that should be the basic criteria while identifying or choosing the activities. Find 10 people now having voted. What are there? Pooja Hetsi has joined. Then who is JZ46? Yeah, always fine. Hello, JZ46.
Rachana, sir.
Rachana, yeah. Svikruti Gowda has made it. Hello, Svikruti.
Yeah.
She's not there, I know. She has logged in and has left for Tirthali and Kavya Yubi is there. Okay, fine.
Sir, I'm there, sir.
You're there, but you are not replying to my questions. Fine. Good. But also I saw you all in the class. Good. Now let me go to the next slide. It is about CSR. CSR, a very widely used, widely referred issue or concept. You are all aware, corporate social responsibility. Here, besides trying to know the meaning of CSR, as part of this community relations topic, we are trying to compare and contrast CSR and philanthropy. Right? What is CSR? CSR is defined as a voluntary activities undertaken on their own, without any compulsion, without any external force, without any pressure. They are the activities undertaken voluntarily by an organization, more so by the present day corporates or companies, to operate in economic, social, and environmentally sustainable manner. So, activities which are going to help the community, help the society at large, beyond your organization, beyond your employees, beyond your immediate stakeholders, right? You are reaching out. It is a reaching out. You are going to cater to some of the requirements of the society, their economic requirements, could be their social requirements, there could be even environmental requirements. For example, a company might undertake to plant, a company based in Bangalore, let's say, might undertake to plant, say, 1 lakh saplings in Western Ghats. Western Ghats are not close to Bangalore, you know this. But this is a very environmentally sustainable project. An organization might spend, say, 10 crores on providing for this facility in the coming months. That could be a CSR. It need not be to the immediate neighborhood. Immediate, it could be in anywhere, in any part of the world, any part of the country. An organization may undertake these activities so that the economic, social, and environmental well-being of the society could be impacted, could be better, could be improved. So these are essentially voluntary activities. So please note these 2 3 things about CSR. CSR is the activities undertaken by a company that do voluntarily in economic, social, and environmental domain. The objective is very clear, to make the economic, social, and environmental life little more bearable, little more tolerable, little more comfortable, little more sustainable. Sustainable, you know, sustainable means not for an immediate gratification. It is at least for a fairly long time in future. It should continue. Today you are making a contribution. You are doing some work. It should help not only in the immediate context, but in future. For example, I gave the example of a Bangalore-based or Chennai-based company planning to plant 1 lakh saplings in Western Ghats. These saplings are not meant for the benefit of the people in the immediate context, in today or in tomorrow. These saplings may take another 10 years to come up. Will take 10 years from now. People would find this Western Ghats full of plants, right? Full of trees, full of woods, thereby contributing to the well-being of the society. So sustainable means for a fairly long term in future. So you are doing these activities not for any immediate gain, not for any immediate benefit, either of the organization or of the society, but for a sustainable. They should be sustainable. They should be there. They should be existing. They should not get completed, finished, say, in a matter of 1 year, in a matter of 1 month. No, they should be there for long, for many years to come. For example, you provide for a drinking water facility, not for 1 year, this is not for 1 month, but you are providing drinking water facility. This facility will be there for next 15 years, next 20 years. That is CSR. And compared to your community relations, CSR is a more broad-based issue. It is not confined to your immediate neighborhood, right? Society, the people staying around, surrounding your organization, no, but in any part of the world, in any part of the globe, if you are undertaking this CSR. Whereas philanthropy is mainly charity. It is mainly charity, the love of humanity in the sense of caring, nourishing, developing as a good human being, a good corporate citizen. You might be donating, say, 1 crore rupees to Prime Minister's National Relief Fund or the Prime Minister's PM Cares Fund. This is a charity. You are not undertaking any activity on your own. You are simply contributing this, right? So that these funds could be used for the benefit of the deserving people as decided by the fund, right? You are providing for the midday meals in all government schools in Bangalore, Mahanagar Palika, BBMP. This is a charity. This is not social. You are not going to create any social rules. You are not going to create any social capital for this. You are trying to feed the children who are hungry, who are finding it very difficult to attend the schools. or whose parents are finding it very difficult to provide to spare meals for their children. That is philanthropy, right? You are donating something for this. You are donating, say, there is a mass marriage being organized. You are going to contribute. You are going to sponsor. This is a philanthropy. This is not CSR, right? You are not going to create any social capital, economic capital out of your activities, your investment, your expenditure. So philanthropy is mainly driven by the love for humanity, to care, right? To help, to nourish, to provide what is badly needed by the members of the group. So let's make a difference between CSR and philanthropy. CSR is more sustainable, more tangible, you can say, right? More organized, you can say, activities. Whereas philanthropy could be one-off, right? One-off a moment, for example, on account of this COVID-19 pandemic and on seeing the what is this plight of the people, migrant workers. Many organizations have come up to provide the essential kits, the grocery kits to ASHA activates, to others, etc. These are all charity. They are not CSR. CSR should end up in developing some social capital, some productive assets for the community, for the society. You develop a park, you maintain that park. It could be a CSR. Okay, but you find that the the watchman in the park is having some problem with his health, right? You are helping him to get admitted to a government hospital and get operated or surgery, and that is philanthropy. That is not charity. That is not science. Right? You should be for a larger good of the society, and a sustainable good of the society. So try to make this distinguish between CSR and philanthropy. Philanthropy is essentially a charity agency. Now, what are the challenges faced by the companies in implementing CS? The problem is issues are not static. The problems are not static. Static means remaining the same, remaining fixed. They are dynamic, they change. Today, you find that the community needs something, you provide for this. And not that next year also it needs, it might require something else, something totally different. So the problems being faced by the communities which the organization would like to address could change from time to time, right? Year after year. They are not going to remain static or fixed or same. They are very dynamic. The opposite word of static is dynamic. That means they keep changing. This year they said, sir, we don't have a school building. You are going to construct. Next year also they might not ask for school building. They might say, sir, we don't have a water tank to cater to for drinking water. So the issues you are going to address or handle could vary from year to year, from sections of the society or community. Priorities vary among this. Community means a very diversified composition. There are people of different economic, social background. Their requirements, their needs, their priorities could be different. For example, a midday meals might be a priority for a laborer's family in the community, but that might not be a priority for an officer's children who are in the community. They might require something else. So priority among the publics in the community could be different. Their requirements could be different. Their importance could be different. So you need to properly identify the priorities and list out the priorities. And problems are complex. Not all community relation activities are simple and could be launched easily or comfortably. There could be many dimensions to this. You have seen this when an organization entered into this one section of the society opposes, one section of the community opposes because of various political, religious, caste-related issues in the background. It might not come to the foreground. So many community relations issues are quite complex and require a lot of effort on the part of the organization to resolve and move on. And there is always a limitation for the organization. And there is no limitation, no limit for the communities, the choices, priorities, and requirements. Right? It is difficult for a given organization to meet all the requirements of the community. You only provide a few. Community might give you a big list. We require this. The organization cannot hope to address and solve all these issues. It might not be, and it need not be also. It is not the job of the organization to cater to all the requirements. It will have to choose objectives, budgets, objectives, expertise, objectives, CR objectives. It have to choose activities, it has to prioritize these activities, and it has to take up these activities. The organization should never hope to satisfy all the requirements of the public. So these are some of the challenges which are very, very dynamic and keep changing. The priorities and preferences and requirements differ among the community people. The problems are not very simple, not easily solved, and there is no chance of an organization capable of being capable of satisfying all the requirements of the possible. So you should be aware of these challenges and you should design your programs. And how do you, we talked about philanthropy, how do you go about undertaking the philanthropy? Cash donation, straight away. 1,000 rupees, 1 day's salary, 1 crore rupees, 1 lakh rupees, you go to Prime Minister's National Relief Fund, Prime Minister's CARES Fund, Chief Minister's Fund, etc. You donate directly so that it would be made use of by the concerned charities. In kind donation, you provide clothes, you provide grocery kits, you provide medical kits, you provide in kind. You can also donate, and you can also your organization take copy. Your employees may volunteer to work in that. For example, even in this COVID-19, the district administration has invited people to act as COVID-19 volunteers. Many youngsters have joined this. They are helping the health officials, police officials, right? In medical officials, in reaching out to the public, in organizing the activities, in spreading the awareness, in training the people, etc. So organizations may encourage their employees to volunteer, to join, or to give their time and expertise. Maybe 1 hour a day, 2 hours a day. It may encourage its employees go out, join these different groups formed by the district administration, by health department, by the police department, etc., and try to solve. So philanthropy could be in any of these things, cash, kind, or in voluntary. So organizations can do any one of these philanthropic activities. You have seen many organizations contributing this. Railways give this, LIC give this, Wipro give this, Infosys Foundation give all this cash donation. Many have also provided all these kits, equipments, medical masks, PPE kits, about this, especially currently. So the last part of this. What are the emerging challenges in community activism? Community activism refers to the large-scale organized CR activities being undertaken by the organization. Right? When an organization is very active in promoting and implementing its activities in the community, we call this community activism. Now, as part of this activism, there are certain challenges, and there might be a lot of media scrutiny. Media may scrutinize about the intentions of the organization in undertaking these activities, the benefits claimed by the organization for the community, the methodology being followed by the community, the criteria of selection. Everything might be under the public scrutiny. Media will scrutinize. TV9 will announce, oh, this is there, these things are happening here. So we should be very careful. We should be able to deal with increased media scrutiny. These days, organizations cannot do anything clandestine. Right? They have to do everything in the glare of the public eye or the media scrutiny. There could be a lot of pressure from the community also to try to influence the activities, the priorities, funding, the budget, etc., etc. And there could be also the communication problems. You might have to use multiple channels of communication to deal with the community by launching or and there might be a lot of misuse also. Communities may, there will always be some surplus people. They might try to mislead, misuse, misrepresent the organization, right? They might misappropriate the funds given or facilities given. They might not be put to the purpose for which the organizations provided them. So there are a lot of challenges. With respect to media scrutiny, with respect to the community pressure, with respect to the communication issues, with respect to the possibility of misusing or abusing or violating the laws, both by the organization as well as by the community people. So organizations should be able to handle these challenges properly. Hope you have been able to follow this, and with this we are completing the unit 4 and we will be moving to unit 5. And, with that, there will be 2 units. I find how many people are there? 11 people are there. Sonia, Ganesh is there. I think I didn't get a name. All there. Okay, then I am going to stop sharing the screen and I am going to end the meeting now. Take care. We shall take up unit 5 in the next class. Hello. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks for your
Thank you,
patient
sir.
hearing. Hope you have all been able to follow these things. Okay, then. Take care. I'm ending the meeting.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye. Take care. Bye bye.